Okay, this is the irrigation in the North Valley Hospital Healing Garden, and it's really important that we check it regularly. So this particular side hose has two spouts coming out of it. It is always needs to be on. So that's first and foremost, otherwise it doesn't function. The first part I'll just talk about is that this right side here that has an orange hose, we're actually going to put a different hose. This hose kinks really bad. But this is on, if you notice, it's on off. So when it's perpendicular to the hose, it's off. Hopefully that's not, that makes sense. So if you want to use, so this is the only hose in the entire garden that you can use separate from the irrigation. And the hose should be able, for hand watering. And all you do to turn it on is to flip it that way, and then you're on. And obviously there's, you know, the shower is probably the best one to hand irrigate. We do hand water the garlic because we don't want to overwater it. Garlic doesn't want a ton of water, but it still needs some time.
This is garlic?
Yeah, that's all garlic in that bed. So that's the only one that's not automatically watered, and Jean really takes care of that. So, so we wouldn't want you to water unless you talk to Jean about it, if the irrigation's working properly. Okay, so the timer. The way that you don't want to touch anything within the dials because it's all set to water for an hour at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. We can only go 12 hours. They're not super sophisticated, so we needed as late in the evening as possible and as early in the morning as possible, so we chose 7 and 7. It's best to water when the sun is not the highest, right? 7 o'clock here is still pretty warm, but it's the best we could do. So, so you don't want to mess with the timing or the dial. But the way you test it, there's this little button here that has an arrow with a spout, and you can hit that button, and you'll give it a minute and it will engage.
Oh, kicked in.
So then you'll see that it's irrigating. So when we got here, and probably because you turned it on without even knowing, this is on. This is max on, and it's insane, right? It's way too high pressure, and that's why that puddle is in the middle. So you actually have to, you almost turn it off to get it to the spot where it's not over watering.
Try to cut it back so it's not hitting the gazebo.
So as I said, it's almost to the off position actually. So you might turn it on and then almost turn it off and then slowly, and just watch it do one. So this is the ideal.
Hitting the strawberries, but not the gazebo.
So is there a reason you wouldn't just turn it the other way and have it stop at the gazebo and stop at the fence?
So in order for the spread,
It won't reach.
yeah, last year we had a ticker.
One of those.
It's been interesting to figure that out. Okay, and then to turn off that, you just hit that button again, and it'll stay with its timer.
That's just to give it an extra dose of water.
No, this is to test it.
To test
So
it.
we ask every time you come in the garden, if you're going to volunteer in it, that you come and test it, because we want to avoid that. It's a big waste of water.
Gotcha.
So does that hamper how much water comes out here then?
Nope, it's totally different.
Okay.
Because this particular one actually just does that.
Okay.
So this one will show you.
So if you use the hand and you turn it up full,
You got
to
it.
use your hand, you have to turn it back down.
Exactly. So yeah, but this is the pressure right now with that.
Nice.
So it's actually pretty good. So I don't think you need it any higher,
Okay.
because that's how much this thing is spewing water. It's insane.
Yeah.
If you turn it on without a hose, it'll blast a hole. It's just high pressured water out here, which is a good problem to have. I don't have that at my house.
And then just use the hand little thing.
Yeah. And then
Turn
you
that
want to
off.
make sure that you turn this one off,
Great.
but that this is always in the
On
on
position.
position.
Okay.
So the other